Hello to the two fans and welcome. This is Chicago Ted coming to you with the Better Justice League versus Boreal Esports tonight for our CEVO Season 6 matchup. I believe we're in week 4, is it? The end of week 4 right about now, either 4 or 5, something like that. But I'm not alone today. I am being joined by the well-known Boreal guy. It's Statick. How you doing, man?
Hello, I'm feeling pretty good. And what about you?
I'm feeling amazing. Just had a really good day. I'm coming off of it. Just had a nice little shot of caffeine, so I'm all energetic, ready to go. And, well, this game, I mean, Boreal is going to be playing a double header today, so lots of great games are going to be coming out from them. And versus two very accomplished teams, the Better Justice League just announcing that Banana Slam Jamma is their resident NEL champion. And, well, I mean, they're a great team regardless, so I don't know. What do you expect to see out of them this game?
I believe they have multiple players on top of NEL, so I'm pretty excited for that match, actually. Like, God's Hands has been doing pretty well, and I'm not sure about the others, but yeah, Pink is the #1 ranked in NEL right now.
Yeah. So just a quick shout-out, or not shout-out, but a quick note to anyone watching this, by the way. I usually solo cast, so if the sound is off, let me know in the chat, because I really need to know that to get it fixed up as soon as possible. So that's just a quick note for all you guys. Back to where we're looking at. Yeah, the Better Justice League, I've been following them since I think a couple of them played in the Reddit Dota2 League. That's where I started casting, and been following them since then, and they've always shown to be a very consistently surprising team in that they can pull off some pretty good games against tough matchups. And I think Boreal is one of the better teams right now in the league. Even though their record a little shoddy, it's still, they show some consistent gaming, and I'll be looking forward to the season playing this game. But the Justice League do have a roster that can compete with them, and it should be a couple of exciting games today.
Yeah, for sure. We saw just like right there the Juggernaut first pick. That hero's being banned or picked every game now.
I'm actually surprised he got through. I've seen him get first banned every single game I've cast up to this point.
I believe.
God, I wish I had a stat for that, how many times he's been banned. I think his pick ban rate is something like 90% or close to.
Yeah, it's really hard to play against it. There's a few counters, but it's always like kind of shady because he can always pull off like good kills with his ult, and like he's really hard to deal with.
Yeah, and I mean, just overall, his early game got so damn good. So I don't know. This is a pretty quick draft, though, so I'm going to continue going on with this. Dazzle Earthshaker comes out from the Better Justice League, showing off a bit of their supporting cast early on, while Boreal, they go ahead and grab their 3 core as a Troll, the Axe, and the Faceless Void. It's going to be complemented by the Skywrath Mage. An awful lot of melee coming out from Boreal. Troll can switch in between the two, but I think most of the time is spent in that melee form for the increased movement speed. But what do you think about this lineup so far? I mean, definitely with some increased attack speed, the Faceless Void is going to have a fun time.
Yeah, I think like they really have a good lineup so far. The Axe is really good to deal with Juggernaut, the Faceless Void also, so they can like the Chronosphere is gonna be pretty frightful with the Troll ulti and Skyrat. It's gonna be a kill pretty much every time they do it. However, if it's gonna, I think it's gonna be about the Dazzle getting levels in Shallow Grave early. He needs like to get some good levels, otherwise he won't be able to save people. If you don't skill it enough, you're gonna have to enter Chrono and can't save them if you gotta enter.
Yeah. Better Justice League are going to pick up Invoker, and I believe they play this one really often. I think nearly every single game I've casted of theirs, they've been picking up the Invoker, so they're got to be pretty comfortable with that hero. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting hero to grab. It's definitely a sort of team fight halter in that he's got a lot of crowd control, a lot of sustain with his stuns, so maybe they've got some decent counter initiation from that one. Of course, Earthshaker is known as the counter initiator, but alone versus what Boreal are fielding right now, it's wouldn't be enough. The Invoker pick definitely, though, is helping things out. Also the Dazzle with the Shallow Grave. They can pretty much keep anyone alive if they're active on their teleport scrolls.
Yeah, for sure. The Earthshaker and Invoker are really good to deal with Faceless Void, so I don't think they're going to have such a hard time dealing with the Void, actually, because just those two heroes have like long-range CC. They can just save people with it.
yeah, it's going to come into play big time in this game as Faceless Void also, I don't think he can track. Can he track around the Fissure? Yeah, I think he can.
It's not a big problem because you can just you walk so fast when
Oh,
you're in
yeah, you walk
Chronosphere.
straight
So
around it. Okay.
if
Yeah,
you just
so, I
get
mean,
caught, you can walk like you lose maybe half a second.
okay. Well,
5 seconds.
I mean, it's still it's a hindrance, but yeah, okay.
Mhm.
The Skywrath Mage combo with the Faceless Void, I
Reserve
think you
time.
pointed that out, but just to reiterate, these level 6s are going to be incredibly huge on Boreal because once again, they hit the level 6. You've got the Battle Trance, you've got the Mystic Flare, and the Chronosphere. That is almost certainly a kill unless a Dazzle can react fast enough and get that shallow grave off. But yeah, the Better Justice League, they can go ahead and find some pretty good counter initiations, deal with that Chronosphere, and I wonder what they're going to pick up last because they've got their 2 supports, they've got their mid, they've got their carry. So now they go for an offlane. Do you think maybe they're going to run something like a clock here?
Um, I am not sure actually. I think Clockwork would be a bit counterproductive because they're basically aiming for I don't know, some like all big range control and team fights. So if they just get a Clockwork, he's just gonna get like chronoed every fight or axed every fight. I don't think he can do much in this lineup. Maybe they need another range hero. I don't know.
Another ranged hero. So they ban out Boreal. Boreal ban out the Batrider. And so that's out of the pool. That was the first thing that I thought they were going to try to go for since it would allow them to
10
either
seconds to
isolate the
go.
Troll or the Faceless Void without them being able to get their
Dire's
kit
pick.
off. But Boreal are going to go ahead and grab the Sand King. More melee, but a lot of stun and control coming out from this hero. It's also going to allow them to pull some extra gold out of the jungle if Axe wasn't enough. And the Better Justice League, we'll see what they have to do, but I'm interested in what they're going to pick up here. I mean, they banned out the AA, Lion, Zeus, Silencer, and I mean, none of those guys really offlane that often, but they
10
all seem
seconds to
all
go.
right with their lineup. I just can't think. Oh wait,
Is
the
it
Clock
is
was
it
banned out
possible that
anyway.
we're seeing a Techies offlane or something like that?
I really want to see a Techies offlane, but I think if they do
Reserve
pick
time.
that, I would have to throw in the towel and say they lose.
10 seconds to go.
Let's see what else could they pick? Maybe Bristleback. Bristleback would be actually okay.
Oh,
Yeah, Bristleback it
that
is.
Sounds like it. I mean, he definitely has some sustain. He can go ahead and try to create as much space as possible. The minus armor is going to be huge versus heroes like Axe and Troll. And yeah, he's definitely going to be a decent player in this game. He just can't let himself get low. I know Bristlebacks like to kind of man fight and mangle around the team fight like that, but if he lets himself drop a little bit too far, then the Axe is going to be there for the cull, and that's going to be the end of the Bristleback's reign. So he's got to be incredibly careful going into that one, but our full lineups are ready to go, and we're ready to go ahead and take this one in game. Any final thoughts you got about both teams before we head into the action?
Not too much. I'm just excited to see that game. They have a pretty aggressive lineup, and I'm sure there's going to be like a ton of kills really early on.
Definitely. Well, unless the Dazzle has anything to say about it. We'll be keeping
Yeah, I
an eye
think
on the purple little guy.
I think the Dazzle's gonna have a lot of people just running at him.
I hope so. I mean, you let this guy stay alive, he's going to keep his team alive, and engagements where you don't kill anyone are pretty bad in the early game. So we'll have to see how effective he can be, but it's going to be Rainbow Dashing that will play him. Crixus will be on the Earthshaker. Banana Slam Jamma, our resident NEL champion, is going to be on the Juggernaut. We've got God's Hand on the Invoker, an apt name for such a egotistical hero. And Shea Doctor will be picking up the Bristleback. Meanwhile, KVH is on the Troll Warlord with Loki on the Skywrath Mage. Chuan, I'd have no idea how I'm going to pronounce that.
30
Zuan, I
seconds to
think?
showtime.
Maybe?
I think they call him Schwan.
Schwan, that's going to confuse me with Chuan, but we'll
Yeah.
have to deal with it. Susie, no, it's 747. I keep calling him Susie. I think that's like the umpteenth time I've done that. He's on the Axe, and 470 will be on the Faceless Void, bursting with lightning there. Keeping an eye on the bounty rune. It looks like we're going to split these 50-50 here as neither team contesting the other side.
It is pretty rare that other teams let Boreal get away with Troll Warlords, since we know that KVH is like a really good troll player.
And he's not the only NA player that plays Troll Warlord often. I know Leviathan love to run this hero every now and then, so it's definitely feels like a sort of NA thing to be happening. Even though we've seen a couple of CIS teams pick him up, I'm no stranger to this hero. I guess it would be the short thing to say here is he's going to be taking this carry position. Most of the time I've seen him mid, but I like their decision to run the Axe here. He's got plenty of base regen. He's sitting at 3.7 in the early game. A couple of pool tangos. He's going to be able to get his bottle out really soon, and his sustain is going to be rather remarkable versus the little underwhelming early game damage of the Invoker.
Yeah, this is quite interesting. I wasn't watching currently middle, but I think he's gonna have an okay time right there. Like, I don't think Invoker going Quas first can do much to the Nax. He can just like get the creeps.
It's basically a staring contest. With Quas, he can keep himself alive. Axe, well, he's not going to die either. So they just kind of look at each other. The one difference is 7047 is just going to push the wave, and then he goes on into the jungle. Meanwhile, top lane, it looks like...
it looks like Juggernaut is actually farming jungle and letting the Earthshaker farm early on.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I saw them converging on 470, and I come up and he's got like no damage done to him, so...
I think that's a good call, because actually they don't have much to kill the Faceless Void, and if they can manage to get good levels on their support again, it's gonna be huge, I think, for mid game.
And Benesla Jim has got no trouble jungling this one up. He's got the level 1 healing ward, which is slowly sustaining him, but it's enough to keep him onto this hard camp, and that's going to be a nice shot of gold, sitting at level 3 at 1.5 minutes, at 2 minutes, almost level 4. That is a really good experience gain for him, and that'll be very nice going on to the mid game, getting that level 6 out early and getting those ganks off. As Loki, with a haste rune, is diving onto Shea Doctor, has a couple more arcane bolts, but he's not going to continue. No, he's going right back behind onto God's Hand, and not just a little bit of a tickle as he makes his way back to lane. I'm actually interested in what he's doing. His rotation is very odd here, but I guess just trying to put out some harass.
Yeah, he's just poking the eye of the Invoker. He has a clarity up, so he's just spending his mana, I believe. There's no one bottom, so he doesn't want to stay bottom, I believe. Like, maybe he's just gonna... He can't really jungle with that hero, so putting a bit of pressure mid makes it easier for Axe to farm, but I don't think Invoker is such a problem for Axe.
Yeah, and I mean, if he has any real trouble, he does have a jungling mechanic. He can get right back on it. He's got the bottle up too, so jungling is not going to be hard for him, and they've got a couple of really great stacks going in the jungle anyway. We can see them stacking from the high ground right here, which is really, really nice for them. So they're making full use of this jungle right now. I think both teams are actually making rather impressive use of the jungle, and we'll start to see that as the gold starts to climb much, much higher, because when those jungle stacks get taken, well, that is a huge gold influx. So
I'm curious about how Boreal is currently getting a gold lead out of this this trade, because they don't have a jungler for now. Sanking is gonna jungle really soon, and now he's gonna like kick off all those stacks and get a lot of gold. But currently they have a Juggernaut which is farming pretty well. I think maybe the Earthshaker is having trouble last hitting top.
Yeah, the Earthshaker's sitting at 14 last hits, almost getting doubled up by KVH, who is farming in a similar position as him. So speaking of, KVH has a ton of farm right now, 24 last hits and climbing. Pretty much uncontested right now, as Shea Doctor doesn't seem to be dealing out too much damage to him. And a lot of experience and gold are going the way of these supports, who are just making their way around, and they're going to be taking those jungle camps, as you said, pretty soon. Faceless Void is also farming really well in this offlane, whereas Bristleback only has 2 last hits. Faceless Void is on par, almost, with the Juggernaut, and he's ahead of the Earthshaker. So 470 is doing a really good job in this lane as well.
This is a big problem, I think. Justice League really need to do something about Void farming better than the Earthshaker, because this is not a good trade. Like, Void scales better. Yeah, having a blink early on Earthshaker is good, but you can't just give farm to cores like that.
I think they really got to abuse this melee range of Voids. Like, right now, it doesn't seem like they're doing anything. They're trying to let Crixus trade against Void, which is a huge problem, because not only is Void's attack animation amazing, but he's also got a much higher damage right now. I mean, he's sitting at 90 to the 60 of Earthshaker, so he can easily outlast him. outlast hit him. And Crixus, like, he's just going to inherently have a lot of difficulty. Right now, they've got a Dazzle with a span heal. If they can keep some harass out into Faceless Void, make him think twice about being close to the lane, then maybe they cut his farm off. But yeah, he's
feel like
pretty much free farming.
The Dazzle is staying way too far. He should be harassing the Void. I don't think he should be that scared, because if he get chronoed, he can just I don't think he can die. Like, Void doesn't have any damage item for now, so.
Right, and they've got Banana Slam Jamma in the jungle. If things start to go sour and Faceless Void starts chasing the Dazzle, then, I mean, Banana Slam Jamma comes in and helps out, and they potentially find a kill there on a turnaround. Like, it feels like you're absolutely right. Their aggression here in this lane is feeling pretty subpar, but, I mean, they are farming all right, and I mean, that golden XP, that gold lead that they're getting 1,000 at 5-6 minutes is okay, but it's nothing really game-ending. So I don't think Justice are giving themselves a huge disadvantage, but they're going to have a problem dealing with this Void.
This ward just fading out prevented the gank, allowed the Void to get back as soon as Juggernaut was coming for the ulti. So that's unfortunate for Justice League, but right now they're going to have to do something about it.
Well, the ward dies on its own, and I think Rainbow Dashing might end up spending Sentry Gold that he doesn't need to try to de-ward a ward that's not there. So the timing is everything on that ward right now. It happened just as it was going away, so very unfortunate if they do end up trying to scout that one out. In the meantime, again, 470 getting a lot out of this lane. No kills have happened just yet. Contrary to what we thought was going to happen, it looks like they're just not being as aggressive. And I think this is... Oh, what the...
KVH Troll Warlord just hammering this Bristleback down.
I missed that. But yeah, so that is...
I heard the Troll ulti, I went bottom and I saw the Troll just hammering him.
Not me. I'm harping on this Faceless Void doing so well that... Oh, okay. So, yeah, I mean, a little unexpected, but actually, should that really be happening? Let me throw the floor to you.
I really don't think so, because the Troll Warlord has been alone for like the longest time. Bristleback is only level 4. Oh, this is why it happened actually. He's actually really under-leveled, so he was able to like get through the armor. He only has 1 point in Bristleback, so this is probably the reason he was able to kill him.
Yeah, I mean, having a level advantage, like level 8 v level 4, that's doubling a level advantage early on is great. Like, level 1 versus level 2, awesome. Level 2 versus level 4, that's amazing. Level 4 versus level 8?
Yeah, you've got to have some issues. Right now, he can't stay in the lane anymore.
Yeah, that's incredible. And he's being really aggressive with it, too, so he's going to have to be incredibly careful. Banana Slam Jamma is going to go ahead and try to snipe some Ancients here, and it's under full vision.
This is going to cost him his life, I believe.
Yeah, this is under full vision. There's no one coming in to stop this, though. In the bottom lane, though, Shaydock... Oh, come on. Shaydocker goes down, and that was, again, being really aggressive when you just can't be. So a Blink Dagger will be finished on the Axe and the Sand King at once. Boreal are going to start running away with this game if the Justice League don't recognize the problem of this initiation range soon.
Yeah, and meanwhile the Void is just farming. They're creating a lot of space for him. The support need either to rotate bot to help the Bristleback, rotate mid to help the Evoker, or like they need to put pressure on the Void. They can't just like stay there and protect their Earthshaker farming. That doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, Earthshaker farming is alright. It's you get some good items. Crystallis, you one-shot people, but it's going to be hard. Oh, in the mid lane, God's Hand, he's going to go down almost immediately. This is right after he buys his Midas. That is going to cost him a lot of gold, a lot of time. Very unfortunate on that gank, but I believe I was talking about Earthshaker one-shotting, but one-shotting this enemy team right now, even with a Crystallis, is going to be very hard because they're getting really far ahead with their heroes. Faceless Void sitting at level 8 to the level 7 of the Earthshaker. This is an off-laner versus a pretty much should-be free-farming carry, and the carry has less experience. So...
Rotation coming top with the Faceless Void, the Chronosphere. I believe they're gonna get a kill out of this. Skyrat is level 4. Oh, we have Epi and Blink Dagger. This is really scary.
Yeah, this is... Epicenter is going to be charged off. They're going on to Crixus. Now they don't even need the Chronosphere. He just goes down. I don't think they even needed the Epicenter. Rainbow Dash is going to go ahead and TP himself out of there right quick. And Loki, well, no one finds him, but it doesn't really matter. I don't think that makes too much of a difference. The tower is just going to go down here, and there is no way for the Justice League to stop this one. They've got to regroup soon, or I can't imagine getting back into this game is going to be too easy. The net worth showing the top two, the Axe and the Troll Warlord, with the Phases Void not far behind in what should have been a difficult lane for him. The Golden XP grabs showing a very, very scary tale as Boreal grabbed themselves a 5,000 gold, 4,000 experience lead at 10-11 minutes, and well, the Justice League may make to start their turnaround here as Crixus is positioning himself onto 470. We see the wraparound from Banana Slam Jamma, and he's going to be spotted out by some creeps. 470 goes into the trees and TPs himself out of there.
It looks like Susie's aiming for a kill with this double damage rune. No. Actually, he's going to just show it. He was waiting in the trees with his double damage and Wing Dagger, so that looked kind of scary for the Invoker.
I like
Seems like he's fine now.
Though. He's got himself way far back, which kind of cuts like I think the blink can still reach him, but it's far enough away from the enemy team that
he probably was in ward vision when he was waiting, so that's why he got scared a bit.
All right, so with one tower taking a fall, 3 kills, 4 kills on the board. Let's start fleshing out Justice's game plan right now. I mean, right now they have no kills, no towers, and really no prospect to kill a tower. All 3 of them very healthy. Where do they go from here to try to slingshot themselves back into this game?
They got their Mask of Madness on Juggernaut, so they absolutely need to use that Mask of Madness, and I think the good rotation would be on the Troll Warlord Baron with that Mask of Madness. They can get a kill out of that.
Bit disjointed though. Crixus and Shea Doctor are going to go into the bottom lane, but they don't quite have what it takes to bring him down. It looks like the sticky, the nasal goo wasn't enough to bring KVH within kill potential, and Banana Slam Jam is actually going to go for an early Roche here. This is a strategy that's seen commonly now with Juggernauts as, oh, hold on, Susie. What? They misses the call.
Oh no, Susie.
Just outside of their range. It kind of makes you wonder why you don't just walk right up next to him, but I guess he was afraid of the tower detection.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Either way, they miss an opportunity there. It buys time as Banana Slam Jam about to take the Roche, as I was saying. A very common strategy now with the Mask of Madness giving you that lifesteal, the very often crit chance, and that healing ward is going to be able to sustain you through Roche. And Juggernaut with the Mom, the Aegis of Immortality, building into what seems to be a Yasha with a Band of the Elven skin. On top of the phase roots he already has, he, as you said, could be their ticket back into this game. The Midas is still done on God's hand, so he's going to be working towards that Orchid as 470 finds a solo kill on the Crixus under the tier 2 tower, bringing himself up to pretty much even farm with the Juggernaut. Just about. It looks like he's lagging about 700 gold behind, and oh my god.
They finally managed to get their first kill on the scoreboard. Yep. On the Troll Warlord, but it looks like
end up trying to find some vengeance here. God's hand dropping very, very low, and well, the Culling Blade takes no prisoners. It just sends you to the grave. As it's a 2-for-1, but that's pretty good. They got themselves on the board, which if we take a look at the Golden XP change, oh, it doesn't really show too much.
They're gonna need much more than that. You really need to use that Juggernaut ult.
But it brought them down back to a 5,000 net worth disadvantage, about 3,000 gold. It goes right back up, but it shows that they're fighting. They've got potential. Now they just got to go ahead and hone that back up and bring themselves back into the game. As we see both teams kind of hanging out in the bottom lane here. We'll see if it looks like they're just going to go ahead and finish on the tower. Rainbow dashing, being very safe. He puts in the aggressive weave, and they're going to go on Susie. This minus armor is huge. He just gets cleaned up. Now the tower will be denied. And
that's
Justice
a really good
get a second kill.
Yeah, that was a really good kill to get. It was a killing spree too, so it's good for Dazzle. Spending. He has 1 creep kill, so he really needs those kind of kills to get back in the game.
Oh, Banana Slam Jim is going to waste his Aegis in the top lane. Now they're rotating up support. He's going to have a very difficult time getting away from this. He has Omni Slash. He just needs to survive a little bit longer. Turns around. Will he get it off? He does. Solo. It's not jumping. It doesn't jump. He's going to bring him down. Loki will go down. And Banana Slam Jam with 200 HP will go ahead and get a double kill. It looks like
triple
KVH
kill.
wants some vengeance and will get it. Banana Slam Jam has got a spin and uses it to try to save himself. Crixus is in.
Happening.
Maybe he gets 3. KVH dropping low. No, KVH will bring him down. And now he goes for Crixus. He'll get a double kill in a similar situation.
2 down.
Almost was a really, really good engagement for Banana Slam Jamma.
Yeah, it was still pretty good for them because in the position they're at, getting a double kill like that on the core is like perfect. That was so unfortunate for Boreal because Juggernaut lived with like 50 HP and was able to ult.
Not only that, but it didn't jump. If it had jumped once off of the Faceless Void, and I guess backtracked one of them, because I didn't see a backtrack either, but I could be mistaken, then he
No,
would
I
have
don't
died
think he did.
easily. But he didn't jump once, and then it was a quick pop when he came out of it to clean up the final auto attack. It was crazy. Oh man, I think that was the most excited I've seen to see an Omni Slash in a very long time.
KVH is looking to fight this Juggernaut right now.
He is invis and get a good initiation off of this one. 30 seconds before the Omni Slash. He's got to be careful though, because there is plenty of support being cast hanging around, and he definitely, I don't think he sees Crixus. I think Crixus is in the fog for him. We'll take a look. Nope, I think he just barely won division. KVH now is going to second guess himself. The team is coming in. They're rotating in the rest of the supports, and it looks like it was a smoke up too, but I think it got revealed. Underneath the Observer where they block off Susie and Loki. Loki's stuck. He'll go ahead, get hit by the full team of the Justice League, and it's going to be Invoker, God's Hand, to clean up that kill. What a
It seems
block.
like Justice League is slowly climbing back in this game, so this might be more interesting than it looked like it was going to be.
Yeah, it's definitely getting closer. We take a look at the Golden League XP graphs. There's still an advantage of Boreal, but where it could have skyrocketed to 10,000, it now is staying about even, stagnating, even going towards the equilibrium. Now, 470 goes in, solo Chronosphere onto Rainbow Dashing. Definitely showing some frustration there. He's out of mana. He cannot get away. One Omni Slash. So got a reduced range, but it doesn't even matter. He's catching up. Still crazy from that range cast, but they bring him down, and that is a kill for Banana Slam Jam. Mask of Madness is himself to get himself out of range of Zwan, and will successfully do so. Zwan can't, or Schwan, whatever it is, cannot find the initiation or the counter initiation, and that is Banana Slam Jamma grabbing his 3rd kill of the game. The score is sitting at 9-7, and the Justice League are definitely in a much better position than they were 5-10 minutes ago.
Yeah, for sure. Like as soon as they got their first kill, they're starting. Like
Epicenter mid lane, they're gonna go in. Mystic Flare comes down. They don't even need to think twice about that one. God's Hand will get brought down by the heavens, as it looks like they want some vengeance top, but KVH is sitting a little bit too far back. They've got the bait set. Susie is waiting in for this one, and I think the Justice League are not going to go in on this one. I feel like they know what's going on, especially with this Observer Ward keeping tabs on the action. This one as well. All these rotations coming into the jungle are being spotted out by the Justice League, save the smokes, and that is a pretty huge advantage that they're giving themselves with that.
Justice League spending a lot of early wards early on to get back in this game. We can see they have a 4 on the map right now, doing a
Yes,
preventing every ganks that it's gonna be costing them a bit later because they won't have the same amount of vision. But I think it was really good. It allowed them to see the things coming and get counter ganks on.
This style is very reminiscent of some of the top tier teams where mostly everyone, if they feel like they're behind, when you get behind, it really means you're losing map control. And wards give not only the illusion of you having more map control than you might actually have, but it also allows you to avoid the bad fights and take the good fights. Like, it's basic Sun Tzu art of war going on here, and this increased warding is what brings you back into games. Some people, it just might not click, but others, they get it, and this is it. You can see them dewarding even with these sentry wards, bringing down the vision. Only one ward remains in the map, and it's about to die for Boreal Esports. Oh, wait, no, they got one on the bottom lane. That's pretty full, but this vision coming out from Boreal isn't feeling as good. Susie, Omni Slash goes out onto him. He is able to get away. No!
The Omni Slash is too strong.
That crit felt so strong. I guess there was also a bash proc on that one.
Yeah, that did so much damage, I don't know.
It felt like he just got completely screwed up there. Axe is a hand of... Oh my god. Well, he is going to get his Aghanim Scepter soon. In fact, I got to start keeping tabs on some of these items coming out right now. Just going to take a quick overview look as we look towards the mid lane, just as KVH finds his killing spree by picking up Crixus. But yeah, looking back at the items right now, Loki, just going to run down through the list. We got the Arcanes ready to go, but he's still looking pretty good. Hold on, 470. He's going to drop. Banana Slam Jamma will find a killing spree as the other carry on the map. So both cores doing very well. KVH, he's going to have himself a full-up Sanj and Yasha. With the Vladimir's offering, he's looking decent on the items, but more mid-game than anything. We'll start to see him building in towards the late game as he finishes up his BKB. The Hand of Midas, Aghanim's almost done for 77-47. Swan's got the Forest Blink, so plenty of mobility. Mask of Madness and Maelstrom done for 470. And is he building in anything time soon? No, only 230 gold after that death. So he's looking pretty stagnated for right now. Banana Slam Jammer, though, has almost a completed Manta style out right now on top of the Basher, looking really good. Invoker, Orchid done with the Hand of Midas, so his item progression is starting to speed up. Dazzle, though, pretty poor. Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker will round that one out. So some pretty standard to-be-expected item builds coming out. Anything that really jumps out to you right now?
Banana Slam Jam is just showing right now why his all this NEL training is paying off for him. We can see like all this warding again. They have so much sentries. They just want to keep the map controlled to make sure they can stay in this game.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
These sentries, they're spending a lot of gold. I think maybe we're borderlining a little bit too much gold on sentries alone, but it doesn't look like it's hurting Dazzle that much. I mean, all he needs are his spells. He's one of those heroes that's almost entirely level reliant. A Blink Dagger or Force would be nice, but he can spend this gold on sentry wards. Meanwhile, they're going to smoke up, and they're going to meet the other smoke. It's the core meets core, but an EMP flies out. Loki will be fall victim to that one. Still has enough for a Mystic Flare, but not much for anything else. Shade Doctor goes right in. Omni Slash down. Susie taking the full brunt of that one, and they just bring down 747. Banana Slam Jam will grab himself a double kill right now, and KVH is on the run.
Godsend Tornado was amazing right there. He split the whole group in two, and they had to spread out for the EMP. That allowed the Juggernaut to go in and just like pick up 2 kills.
Yeah, this is definitely... I wonder who's making the calls right now, because that was a really, really nice call. Unfortunately, though, they're going to get hit up by a double Burrow Strike. Do they see Swan? No. KVH goes in on a Banana Slam Jam, but with the Blade Fury, he's just sitting there. Now he's right-clicking. Junk, and down! Invoker will actually grab the kill as Earthshaker Crixus cleans up Swan, making it a 4-0, and the healing ward brings him right back up to full as this tier 1 tower will go down. Do they go for more? Roshan is actually respawned and ready to go. So a fight in a Rosh, and the Justice League might actually have taken a not only substantial lead, but set themselves up to take the first game off of Boreal Esports.
I'm actually really surprised at how fast they claim it back in that game, and like they're doing it so well at 2. It seems like they're like really coordinated, and all this like map control is paying off really well for them. And the Roshan timer like respawned right when they cleaned the tier 1.
Rainbow Dashing is in the wrong part of the map right now. He's got about half duration on that invisibility rune, but he's got to be really careful.
You don't want to play beside hacks like that. He's just going to cleave you.
Banana Slam Jamma, he wants to go in. He's got an Omni Slash, 5 seconds. They don't have vision to spot him out, but they kind of get it, and they back themselves off. So Banana Slam Jamma will not find the kill here. I think maybe... Did he get spotted out by maybe running past these trees to go in?
He was seen by the Sun King. He just came in vision, so he
Alright.
backed off immediately.
See, because I'm wondering if they saw him right at the edge of this ward vision, but I guess, I don't know.
We just saw BKB coming up for KVH. I think that was really big. He needed to win that team fight with the 10-second BKB,
Yeah.
but the Juggernaut just bashed him and like hammered him to death.
This is why teams ban Juggernaut. It's not because the Omni Slash range was good. Banning that, though, is not enough to bring this hero out of where he was. I mean, this amazing amount of damage that he can deal right now through the BKBs and through the thick and thin is just incredible. But I got to give props to Banana Slam Jamma. I think his play has been pretty much exactly on point for what he needed in this game. And I won't say he's putting the entirety of Justice on his back, but he's definitely doing a damn good job at carrying.
Yeah. Right now, Boreal really needs to have their axe focusing on getting the call on the Juggernaut. If he can do that, I think they can secure a team fight. But if the axe is not able to Berserker call the Juggernaut, these fights are getting really scary because they have all this team fight control.
And I don't think Axe is going to burst anyone on that note. Like, he just doesn't feel as strong as he could be. He doesn't have a lot of tank right now. The Agnum Scepter isn't giving him too much. They might get something out of this one, though. Banana Slam Jamma dropping very low. He's got the Aegis, but they're going to use the Shallow Grave anyway. Do they bait out the Cole out of that one? No, he just Omni Slashes. And that's a 3-for-0. And, you know, I hate to say it, but I feel like Justice have just secured their ticket into pretty much winning this game.
It feels that way. Like, they had the Berserker call on Juggernaut right there, and they couldn't kill him before the call ended. So that's...
Even if they did, he's got the Aegis.
Yeah, that's... I don't know. I think they can just go Rax with this Aegis, and there's nothing Boreal can do about it.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you right now. It's 70 seconds on the Omni Slash, but at this point, it doesn't feel like Banana Slam Jamma even needs the Omni Slash. He's right-clicking for so much. The Abyssal Blade is going to lock whoever he wants in place, and that's 1 second on the Abyssal Blade, or 1.4, no, 2 seconds on the Abyssal Blade, is enough to kill anyone right now. I mean, you can see he's critting for 5-42. He's hitting pretty much twice a second. Like, this is crazy coming out from the Juggernaut. And Shea Doctor getting very close to the Crimson Guard. 470, he wants to find the Chronosphere, but they're just not grouping up for it. They go in for the call onto Banana Slam Jamma. He still has Aegis. Chronosphere goes on to God's hand, but they've got the Heaven's Halberd. Now Banana Slam Jamma, he finally dies, but they have to use a solo epi for that one. KVH, though, can he do enough damage in the meantime? There's a Shallow Grave on the God's hand, and it will not be enough to bring him down. KVH now has to run away. Goes back in, looks for Banana Slam Jamma, but the bashes are there. Now the call. This is the turn. Is it? Meatball goes down. Banana Slam Jamma could finally fall. He does. 70-47 will go down regardless, though. Swan trying to find his way out of there. But he'll get away. A buyback onto Loki to try to slow down Shea Doctor, but the team isn't quite there. Burrow Strike goes down, but the Quills are enough to kill Swan. He knows it and backs himself away. There will be the Fisher coming out as Crixus cleans up Swan just because Swan was trying to back away as low as possible. And
That was a really good fight, I think, for Boreal, because they had to play it perfectly to sustain those Raxes, and they managed to pull it off.
A great teamfight recap, by the way. I like it this time. They came ahead on the experience, not on the goal, but I think that can be attributed to that buyback. I feel like if he had not had the buyback there, they would have had about a 200 to 300 gold advantage off that fight. But the experience is the huge part. Like, experience for Justice League is great, but if Boreal can find their levels and experience, the stats you get from that are more than pivotal right now. You can see the hero levels right now. Oh, no, never mind. I don't have a hockey for that one. I have to manually derp click on it. But it looks like they did fall behind, but KVH is starting to catch up a little bit to Banana Slam Jamma, and the rest of the cast is kind of nice. It's oddly satisfying how alternate it is. So, no, they just screwed it up. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
it
was almost really telling about how this game is going, that they were just ever so slightly behind in their respective heroes or respective roles.
Yeah.
Double damage.
I'm actually
the
impressed
game-ending
about.
rune.
Oh yeah, double damage on Chrono. Could pick off a kill with that.
He has to instantly pop it though. No bottle in sight. If they want to make use of this, they have to do it soon. And it doesn't look like they really have they don't have the vision to do it. They only have these defensive wards. This offensive one could give them a nice idea of where Rainbow Dashing was going, but they weren't in the area to make a go on that. And I mean, that'll be all they can do right now. Chronosphere goes out, Banana Slam Jam. Could they find a kill? This is actually huge if they do, and they'll clean him up. 80 seconds without buyback, and 470. Well, I said they had to use it soon, and he heard me. They go ahead and they find their pickoff, and what a huge pickoff at that. Susie 7047 will be up on the top lane, pushing that in while bottom starts getting pressured. They do not have their jug. They cannot take a 5-on-5 or 4-on-5 direct engagement. They got to play this one out as chaotic as possible. Now they start on the 470. Loki without mana. That was a really questionable run in from him. And that will be the disengage there. As middle tower goes down, KVH will put the damage, but it's going to be 747 to find the last hit on that. And
This was quite interesting. I think the warding again for Justice is just better. They're just like getting so much map control. They keep finding Boreal wards and dewarding. I really like how they're playing, but I feel like if this game lasts for another like 10 minutes, Boreal's gonna have the upper end because Juggernaut is gonna start to fall off.
I agree with you, but at the same time, more items can come out. He's not 6-slotted yet, so even though he starts to fall off, he still has room to grow. And he is still incredibly scary. They do now, we know they have what it takes to bring him down. That is the biggest thing about it. Now, this Roche is going to be very important. If it spawns soon, Justice have a great chance of just taking it and taking a good fight with Aegis on a Juggernaut. But if it's a 3-minute spawn, they're in trouble. It's a minute and a half, so not as bad as it could be, but it definitely means that that Boreal do have time to stall it out. And
Do they have a gem? Yeah, they have a gem. That's why they're like getting every wards right now. They're
That
just
is
shutting the
really
map
big.
black for Boreal.
Yeah, that is really big. Keeping the map control, keeping everything in their vision, and just abusing this this true sight. I mean, they had the sentry wards. Now they've got that gem, as you pointed out. So it is really, really good for them. But at this point, I don't think they can lose it. If they lose it, they lose all of their map control, which has been such a huge part of their gameplay right now.
This gem is actually so important because if they lose it, they're just gonna struggle so much running out like
could be
this.
the initiation of smoking. They have no idea what's coming. They force out Crixus, but they get the Chronosphere. It's not enough time before the Omni Slash comes off, though. But it doesn't feel like it does enough damage. KVH is still alive. Banana Slam Jamma, he's getting bursted. The bashes, the Shallow Grave keeps him alive, and Susie doesn't have enough mana for the Culling Blade. Shea Doctor backs himself out. The Healing Ward brings Banana Slam Jamma back up to full. And what was a really good initiation for Boreal. They find one kill off of it, but that sends a message blasting through the ears of Justice that Boreal are not going down without a fight. Was that the gem?
It was the gem.
Oh,
the Sand King
no.
now has it. That was the most important kill. That's why the Faceless Void solo chronoed him, I believe.
That is really important. So
There
now
was-
Swan has a gem, and you already see, I think they've taken out 2 wards so far and counting. So this map is going to quickly get lights out for the Justice League. And
This Roche is gonna be
oh no. I
Just
think
in
they
time.
saw them go in, but I don't think they know, or they don't have what it takes to contest this. Roche is already dead. And just as soon as I think Justice League had this game, Boreal, they grasp it by the balls and bring it right back.
Down quick and clean.
And that's a cheese Roshan too. This is
such a big. That was just one kill, but it's actually like game-breaking kill.
yeah, I think the
Radiant
Justice
structures
League
must
have
have
got
been
to be banging
fortified.
their heads against the desk
Radiant's
right now.
top towers
That
are
gem,
in.
we talked about it too. We pointed it out like twice before that they could not lose
The
that gem.
Radiant got one
Even
last
though
top
they felt
tower.
so far ahead, even though they had so much advantage and we had so much faith in them, they could not lose the gem. And they lost the gem. So now they've got to really focus on their team fights right now and do what Boreal's been doing. Just smoke up and find the initiations. Absolutely abuse your team fight, your initiation potential, and try to get something off of that one, because the vision's not going to be theirs anymore.
They're really, yeah, as you said, they really need to smoke right now. They need to get that gem back as soon as possible, because if they just can't like farm equally on the map, there is no way they can take off late game to Boreal, which has like, I think, better late game heroes. But like Juggernaut can still hold on to these heroes if they farm equally, but with no gem, no vision, it's like so scary that they need to make something happen right now.
Yeah, I bet they're feeling the nerves right now. I think they can feel it. I really think they can feel it, because they have gone from playing really aggressively, really actively across the map, to moving as 4 throughout their jungle, keeping guys in important spots to spot out rotations. This is feeling really, really careful play from the Justice League, and although it's really important that they continue this style, it's incredibly telling. I mean, they're ahead on kills, but that is a completely different story than what the graphs are telling, as they have once again given up the advantage. It is now pretty much at 0, going slightly towards the way of Boreal Esports, and 470 grabs himself a tower. They get the weave off,
The Dire best do something about that bottom tower.
but there's no one here to get the initiation,
Dire
and this
just
counter
couldn't save
from
that bottom
Boreal
tower.
is feeling really scary.
Yeah, it feels like the momentum swapped completely. Like 5 minutes ago, Justice was just farming the whole map and everything, and now it's just like Boreal's controlling the full map with that gem.
As they should. I mean, it's going to take a lot more gold. Now, I think they're just banking on getting the gem back, because I don't see them actively buying too many sentries right now. Yeah, I think they're pretty much completely banking on the fact that they believe truly and firmly if they take a good fight, they can get that gem back. And they got to take the good fight first. But I have faith still. It comes down to whether or not Banana Slam Gemma can find the damage, because it feels like now these Omni Slashes, as you pointed out, are starting to fall off. His damage outside is getting gimped by the fact that he's just getting perma-bashed down by this Void and Troll combo.
Yeah, he's quite a basher himself, but like with Troll and Void, they just like keep him down as soon as Omnishash is over. He's gonna like get Berserker called and bashes, so he needs his team to continue the fight for him.
These EMPs have been absolutely invaluable, though, as they've been keeping Axe from dropping down the Culling Blaze, which could, in any instance, bring down anyone that gets shallow grade. But because they go down, he can't find them. And he's did build a Blade Mail, and he's got an Active Scepter, which helps his mana pool just slightly. But it's nothing like a Shiva's Guard, which I believe is going to be an item coming out for him soon, as he's going to need that extra mana to be able to sustain these Culling Blades and these calls and everything he needs to get off in the fights. What do you think about this build, by the way? He still hasn't put Max out in Battle Hunger, and I feel like that's because it doesn't really give much movement speed anymore.
Yeah, I feel like the stats are much more worthy against the Juggernaut, especially because like the Battle Hunger is more like a spell to cancel blinks and stuff, and from dispatch, and like having additional stats against the Juggernaut is always really good, because you don't get killed in the Unstash. Like just a few stats can make the difference in the team fight.
BKBs en masse are arriving as, oh no, Banana Slam Gemma is being really aggressive. He's going to go ahead and try TP and Blade Fury. Bash does get it! And he will go down. Omni Slash comes off, but takes too long to cast. And KVH, I think that was the last hit he was going to get on him before he TPs away, and he got the bash, so I think he was due for one. It's like, what, a 10% chance now? Yeah.
I actually thought for a second that he was gonna TP away. Then the lasted bashes.
I think everyone's heart stopped for a second there. I definitely feel like I'm hitting cardiac arrest, and I'm just talking on fumes, but I don't know. That was a pretty big kill there, as now Justice League are going to have to defend
buyback
their
either.
base. Yeah, no buyback. Like,
this is gonna be really hard for Justice League to defend. Maybe they should just sacrifice one Rex, I don't know.
They are defending it just slightly. I think they have some Heaven's Halberds. They can stop the auto attack damage. Now they're going to go out with an EMP. KVH immediately cheeses up, but that's the cheese gone. They've got the mini bash onto him, but it's not really meaning much, which is notable for that TP, by the way. I think it gets blocked by... Does it get blocked by spell immunity? I know snipers used to, but I don't know. It's unimportant right now, as the defense will be made. And Justice League, they continue to hold on to their racks ever so slightly, as Roshan still a ways away from respawning. The Justice League, though, they've got their own little mini Roshan Juggernaut. Will be back in the game and ready to go. Justice League, they've got to do something right now. Like, if they continue to let this game go on as it is, Boreal are going to outfarm them. They've got more cores, they've got better late game than the Justice League. And they've got a lot of BKBs. So getting the initiation off is going to be really important. 4 BKBs and a Ghost Scepter.
The smoke was just used, but unfortunately they're smoking in the void with double damage, so that might end poorly.
And yep, they're going to go in, but they immediately get the call up. They reacted that perfectly. They knew it was coming. They smoked under an Observer Ward, I think. As they Bolt 2 goes down, no buyback on the Jug. God's Hand will fall here, but I believe he had buyback, and it looks like he's gonna get away, but Echo Slam comes out. Doesn't really feel like it does much. Shade Doctor trapped in by the call, and he should go down as well. And it looked like Invoker went down as well, so that's a 5-man wipe. 4 buybacks are possible. But that just played right into the hands of Boreal. Did you catch whether or not they smoked underneath this Observer? Because I feel like that's where they came from.
They definitely did, because there's no way Boreal could like receive that smoke that well just by pure luck. Like,
Yeah,
they were positioned
immediate.
perfectly, waiting for that smoke.
I felt like if I had blinked, I wouldn't have understood what happened there. Full Scotty finished on KVH. He goes right up to the racks and just goes after it. A 4v5, we've already seen them fail in a 5v5 when they got the initiation. However, it was an expected initiation, and the Boreal were ready for it. And to be honest, it felt like a pretty ambitious smoke going up the high ground to try to find something. But as I said, it was needed. Unfortunately, the execution was just a little bit better on the side of Boreal.
That's a pretty good point you're bringing. Whenever you smoke, you usually don't want to go uphill, like cliffs like that. Maybe they should have went around like this.
Yep.
Much better position they would have.
In fact, in the old Roche Pit was there. You know, when the Roche Pit was right here,
Mm-hmm.
typically what teams would do is they would come down and they'd initiate that direction. And
Yeah.
it would always surprise me, because if you came around and initiated from the high ground, you 9 times out of 10 had a lot better of a shot of winning that team fight, just because of that inherent high ground advantage that so many people just seem to forget about in the heat of the moment. So I think now it's really not any different. You can still get the high ground, but the way around is a lot longer. But the fact still stays the same. It comes down to getting those advantages and knowing where you can take fights. And I think Boreal didn't quite expect to be spotted out by the Justice League. But when you have so little map control, I think this is one of those wards that you've got to expect.
Yeah, for sure. Like, all the teams are starting to acknowledge the fact that having vision in the fight is much better. You can see China's teams these days, they're just dropping wards into fight to make sure they have the full vision of the team fight.
That's why we might start seeing Beastmaster come out even more often too. I think I saw him the other day in tandem with a Drow Ranger. But Banana Slam Gemma, oh, he could. Again, this comes down to knowing that they have vision, and Banana Slam Gemma gets cleaned up. No
Whoa.
buyback. I think Banana Slam Gemma single-handedly kept them in this game, but at the same time, he is pretty close to bringing them out of this one. God's Hand will start to drop low on the high ground. They don't have vision of him just yet. They do still have the gem. They just got to get close. Shade Doctor with the, oh, it's not even going to matter. In comes Swan with the epicenter. Shadow Rainbow dashing will go down. Susie, 747, dropping very low, but it's going to be Crixus in trouble. As with the Battle Hunger, they've got the Burrow Strike, and, well, they tap out.
This is
no
good
more.
game.
Good game, well played, and I'd ask you where it went wrong, but I think I know exactly where it went wrong. Just for the sake of stating the obvious, let's hear it.
As soon as they pick up the gem, they made a gamble. Like, they wanted either to get a better advantage or to lose the game. and unfortunately for them, it went to losing the gem and losing the game.
Yeah, it was a crazy game, though. I gotta hand it to them. They really pulled it in. Both teams really pulled it in, and I gotta give both of them credit. Obviously, the Justice League, they would not like this. They're already pretty low on the win-loss ratio right now, but they definitely deserve some props right now. You can tell just by the fantasy points that this was an incredibly close game, and I just got to thank both teams for putting out their all right now. I got to thank you, Statick, for